Hello, and welcome to the English Talk Show. I am Rex.
And I am Melissa. We are so happy you are here with us today.
This show is for people who are learning English. We speak slowly, we use simple words, and we make it fun.
That's right. Every episode, we tell a story together, and then we talk about it. We call this the story plus chat format.
Today's episode is called The Note Under the Door.
Oh, I love this story so much. It is warm, it is kind, and it will make your heart feel good.
Yes, and while Melissa tells the story, I will stop sometimes to explain important English words. We call these vocabulary words. They're words that will help you understand more English every day.
Today, we have 7 vocabulary words for you. 7! So listen carefully. And don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. That is completely okay. Just keep listening.
So get comfortable, maybe make yourself a cup of tea. Take a deep breath, and let's begin.
Our story begins in a quiet apartment building in a big city. Many people live in this building. They pass each other in the hallway, they wait together for the elevator, but they do not talk to each other very much. Everyone keeps to themselves. On the first floor, there is a woman named Margaret. Margaret is 73 years old. She has white hair and kind eyes. She lives alone in her small apartment. Her children live far away. Her husband passed away many years ago, and her friends, well, over the years, life got busy and they lost touch.
Let's stop here for our first vocabulary word. The word is lonely. Say it with me. Lonely. Lonely. Lonely means feeling alone. When you are lonely, you feel sad because you have no one to talk to. Margaret is lonely. She has no one close by.
Yes, Margaret is lonely. Every morning she wakes up early, makes a cup of tea, and sits by the window. She watches the people on the street, the pigeons, the clouds. But no one comes to visit. No one knocks on her door. Then one Monday morning, something different happens. Margaret wakes up. She puts on her robe and her slippers. She walks to the kitchen to make her tea, and then she notices something on the floor near the front door. It is a small, folded piece of paper. Someone pushed it under the door during the night. She walks slowly to the door. She bends down and picks it up. She unfolds it carefully, and she reads it. The words on the note are simple. They say, "Good morning. Today will be a good day. You are not alone."
Those are such beautiful words. Now let's learn our second vocabulary word. The word is anonymous. Say it slowly. Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous means without a name. When something is anonymous, we do not know who sent it. There was no name on Margaret's note. It was anonymous. A mystery.
The note was completely anonymous. Margaret reads it again and again, turns it over, nothing. No name, no clue, but the words make her feel warm inside. She places it right next to her cup of tea and reads it one more time. The next Monday morning, Margaret goes to her front door as soon as she wakes up, and there it is, another note on the floor. This one says, "You have a beautiful smile. Don't forget to use it today." Margaret reads it, and she smiles. She cannot help it. A big, warm smile.
Here is our third vocabulary word. Curious. Curious. Curious means wanting to know something. When you are curious, you have questions and want to find the answer. Margaret is very curious. She keeps asking, who was leaving these notes? Who cares about her?
Right. Margaret is so curious. She starts watching the hallway through her peephole every morning, but she never sees anyone. The hallway is always empty and quiet by the time she looks. But the notes keep coming. Every Monday, without fail. Keep going. You are stronger than you think. The world is better with you in it. Today is a new beginning. The words are always simple, but every note makes Margaret feel that someone out there sees her. Someone cares.
Now, let's learn our fourth vocabulary word. The word is neighborhood. Hood. Neighborhood means the area where you live, the streets, the buildings, the people around your home. Margaret's apartment building and everything around it is her neighborhood.
And because of those notes, Margaret begins to see her neighborhood differently. She wonders, are other people here also lonely? Are there neighbors on the second or third floor who need kind words too? One afternoon, Margaret sits at her table with a pen and a piece of paper. She writes a note for her neighbor Clara across the hall. It says, "Hello, neighbor. I hope today brings you something lovely. You are not alone."
And here we have our fifth vocabulary word, one of my favorites. The word is courage. Courage. Courage means being brave, doing something difficult because it is the right thing. For Margaret, walking into the hallway and pushing a note under someone's door took courage. She was nervous, but she did it.
Yes, Margaret found her courage. She walked to Clara's door. Her hands were shaking a little, but she bent down and pushed the note under the door. Then she walked quickly back to her apartment and closed her door. She sat down and held her hands together. "I did it," she whispered to herself. 2 days later, there is a knock at Margaret's door. She opens it carefully. Standing there is Clara, a woman about 60 years old with warm brown eyes and a big smile. She is holding the note in her hand. She says, "Did you write this for me? Oh my goodness, this is the sweetest thing." And then she says, "Would you like to come in for tea?" Margaret's first visitor in a very, very long time. They sit together for 2 hours. They drink tea, they eat biscuits, they talk and laugh. And when Margaret walks back to her own apartment, she feels something she hasn't felt in years. She feels alive. She feels connected.
Our sixth vocabulary word is inspire. 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 To inspire means to make someone want to do something good. When you are inspired, you feel motivated to act and to help. The kind notes inspired Margaret, and now Margaret is inspiring others.
That's exactly right. The notes inspire Margaret, and her notes inspire the neighbors. Clara starts baking cookies and leaving them in the hallway. Mr. Peterson on the 3rd floor starts holding the elevator and saying, "Good morning," with a smile. The young woman on the 2nd floor starts waving when she sees people. The whole building changes. It becomes warmer, kinder, like a small community, a little village inside the city. All because of small notes with simple, kind words. But Margaret still has one question, one mystery that she cannot let go of. Who wrote that very first note? Who started all of this? One Sunday evening, Margaret decides to try one more time. She sets her alarm for very early, 5:30 in the morning. She gets up in the dark. She puts on her robe. She sits quietly in a chair right next to her front door. She waits. The building is completely silent. She can hear her own breathing. And then she hears something. Very soft footsteps, Small footsteps, slow and quiet, coming down the staircase. Margaret holds her breath. She looks through the peephole. She sees a small figure in the hallway. It is a child, a boy, maybe 9 or 10 years old. He has dark, messy hair. He is wearing blue pajamas. He is holding a small folded piece of paper in his hand. The boy walks very slowly toward Margaret's door. He looks to the left. He looks to the right. He thinks no one is watching. Then he bends down carefully and pushes the paper under the door. He stands up quickly, and then he runs back up the stairs on his tiptoes, very quiet, very fast. Gone. Margaret picks up the note. She unfolds it. It says, "You have the kindest eyes. Please don't ever feel alone." She reads it twice. Then she takes a deep breath, and she walks upstairs.
And here is our 7th and final vocabulary word. The word is reveal. Reveal. Reveal means to show something that was hidden. When the answer finally comes out, that is a reveal. The mystery of the note writer is about to be revealed. Margaret knocks on the door of the apartment directly above hers. After a moment, a woman opens the door. She looks surprised to see Margaret so early in the morning. Behind the woman, peeking out from the hallway, is the small boy, still in his blue pajamas. He looks at Margaret. His eyes go very wide. Margaret smiles at him. She kneels down to his level so they are eye to eye. She says very softly, "Are you Leo?" The boy nods slowly. He looks at the floor. His cheeks are red. Margaret says, "The notes under my door, they were from you, weren't they?" Leo nods again. He is shy. He is embarrassed. But Margaret's eyes are full of warmth, not anger. She asks him gently, "Leo, why did you do it?" Leo is quiet for a moment. Then in a very small voice he says, "I used to see you through the window sometimes. When you were sitting in your chair, you always looked so sad, and I didn't know what to do. I was too shy to knock on your door, so I just wrote the notes. I wanted you to feel better." Margaret puts her hand on Leo's shoulder. Then she wraps both arms around him in a big, gentle hug. She holds him for a moment. Then she pulls back, looks at him, and says, "Leo, you did so much more than make me feel better. You changed everything. You changed this whole building. You changed me." Leo looks up at her, and for the first time, he smiles. A big, bright, beautiful smile. Oh, Melissa, every single time. Every time we tell that story, it gets me right here.
I know. It's such a simple story, but it has so much feeling inside it. A lonely woman, a shy little boy, small pieces of paper with small words, and yet everything changes.
Okay, listeners, now it is time for our chat segment. This is where Melissa and I talk about the story together. We ask each other questions, and you can listen and practice your English comprehension. Ready, Melissa?
Ready. Let's do it.
All right, first question, and this is a great beginner question. Who is Margaret? Can you describe her for our listeners?
Sure. Margaret is an elderly woman, 73 years old. She lives alone on the first floor with no visitors. Her family lives far away. She spends her days quietly watching the world from her window.
Perfect. And how does Margaret feel at the beginning of the story? What emotion does she have?
She feels lonely and invisible, like no one sees her or cares. That is a very painful feeling, and I think many people can understand it no matter their age.
Absolutely. Loneliness can happen at any age, and the message of this story, "You are not alone," speaks directly to that feeling, doesn't it?
Exactly. You are not alone. That was even written in the very first note Leo left for Margaret. Those 4 words. So simple, but so powerful.
Now, Melissa, here's my next question. Why does Margaret start writing notes for her neighbors? What makes her do that?
The notes inspire her. They made her feel seen and valued. So she wanted to pass that feeling on to others, to share the kindness with her neighbors.
One more big question, and this is maybe the most important one. Who is Leo, and why did he write the notes?
Leo is a young boy, maybe 9 or 10, who lives directly above Margaret. He is shy, so he doesn't always know how to talk to people, but he is also very kind and very observant. Observant means he notices things around him. Leo noticed Margaret sitting alone by her window day after day, looking sad. He wanted to help her, but he was too shy to knock on her door. So he found another way. He used his words. He wrote to her. That was his courage.
And I think that is so important. Leo shows us that you don't have to be loud to make a difference. Even a quiet, shy child can change someone's life if they have courage and a kind heart.
Yes, and remember, courage doesn't mean you are not afraid. It means doing the right thing even when it is hard. Leo was nervous, but he still wrote those notes every single Monday. That is real courage. Yes, and one more thing before we go. I want to talk about the lesson of this story, not just the English lesson, but the life lesson. Rex, what do you think the main message of The Note Under the Door is?
The message is this: small acts of kindness have big power. You don't need money or fame. You just need to see the people around you and do something kind. A note, a smile, a hello. It can change everything.
And I think there's another message, too. Leo was just a little boy in blue pajamas sneaking downstairs in the dark, and he changed one woman's whole life, and that woman changed a whole building. Never think your kindness is too small.
All right, that is all for today's episode of the English Talk Show. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We truly appreciate every single listener.
You are doing something amazing by learning a new language. It takes patience, it takes courage, and you have both. We are so proud of you. Every episode you listen to, every word you practice, that is progress, real progress.
Keep going, keep learning, keep being kind to others and to yourself. Small steps every single day lead to big changes, just like Margaret. Just like Leo.
We will see you next time on the English Talk Show. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, you are not alone.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.